This is the sixth assignment of the JavaScript tutorials. The program is the fizzbuzz program that we need to implement using for loops. So the first thing that I've written here is a function called as check prime. This function checks whether an input variable, which is num, if it is prime or not. In case if it is prime, it returns true. In case if it is not prime, it returns false. So I just have done a basic error condition check over here. So in case if the number is less than 2, we directly return false because prime numbers begins from 2 onwards and negative numbers are not considered as prime numbers. I have assigned the value true to a boolean variable is prime. So at the end of this function, is prime would be having the boolean value whether the number is prime or not. Then we have a for loop where I have initialized j to 2, and this for loop runs until j is less than or equal to the number by 2. For example, if the input number is 10, then num by 2 will be 5. So j will iterate, the entire for loop will reiterate from the value j is equal to 2 until the value j is equal to 5. That's how mathematics defines a prime numbers. It is sufficient to divide a number until the number by 2. If it is divisible, then it would not be prime. If it is undivisible until number divided by 2, then it is a prime number. So my for loop runs from j is equal to 2 until num divided by 2. I increment j by 1 every time. And within the for loop, I just check if num modulus j is 0, which means in case if I divide a number by j and the remainder is 0, it means that the number is not prime because it is divisible by some number other than itself and 1. Okay. So in that case, I just mark is prime as false and I just break out of the loop because there's no point in continuing further since it's already divisible. And at the end, it returns the boolean value is prime. The next function is the actual fizzbuzz prime, which takes in 4 parameters: the minimum, maximum, fizz, and buzz. The program tells program statement tells that we only need to print from 1 to 100, but in case if we need to print some other number or some other limit, say from 300 to 400, I want to print all the primes, the fizz, and the buzz, then I can moderate using the min and the max. So here fizz and buzz will be 3 and 5 respectively. In case if you want to change fizz to 7 and buzz to 9, even that is allowed. I can send those parameters inside. So within these functions I have a for loop where I initialize a number to the minimum limit, and the number and the for loop executes until the number is equal to the max limit. So in this case min will be 1 and max will be 100. So the for loop iterates 100 times. Each time I increment number by 1. So within the for loop I have a sequence of if statements. I won't be able to use switch case over here, so I'm using an if statement. The first thing I'm checking is if num modulus fizz is 0 and num modulus buzz is 0, it means that the number is divisible by both 3 and 5, which is fizz and buzz. So I just console.log fizzbuzz. Else, if the number is divisible only by fizz, I print fizz. If the number is divisible only by buzz, which means that num modulus buzz is 0, the remainder after dividing by buzz, if the remainder is 0, it means that it is divisible by buzz. So I console.log.buzz. Else, at the end, I check if the number is prime using my check prime function. In case if it returns true, which means that the number is prime, so I console.log prime. Else, if none of the above conditions satisfies, I just print the number as it is. So those are the two functions I've written. Let's just check it out quickly. So here is fizz assigned to 3, buzz assigned to 5, minimum limit is 1 and the max limit is 100. So if I just run this program, it will just print from 1 onwards. 1 is not a prime, not fizz, not buzz, so it's printed as it is. 2 is a prime number. 3 is printed as fizz. Now note that 3 is also a prime number, but I am printing fizz over here because In my if condition, I have given higher priority to fizz and not prime. So prime is the fourth condition I'm checking. In case if we want prime number to be of higher priority, then we can just take this if condition and have it at the top of the loop. That would mean that the prime number would have higher precedence over the other parameters. Okay, so but here I would want fizzbuzz to have the higher priority, next followed by fizz, followed by buzz, and then prime. So 3 is considered as fizz, 4 is divisible by 2, so it's not prime, it is not divisible by 3, it's not divisible by 5, so it's printed as it is. 5 is buzz, 6 is fizz because it's divisible by 3, 7 is a prime number, 8 is divisible, it's not prime, it's not divisible by 3 or 5, so it's printed as it is, and it goes on until I encounter fizzbuzz. So this is 15. 15 is the first number which is divisible by both 3 and 5, so it's printed as fizzbuzz. So list goes on as it is until I reach 100. Okay, so in case if I want a different limit, for example I want to print fizzbuzz but this time from 300 to 400. Okay, and even if I want fizz to be 7 not 3, then I can just change these parameters and run. I don't have to change any of my source code, I just have to change the parameters. So if I run, it just prints all the numbers starting with buzz because 300 is divisible by 5, so it is called as buzz. 301 is divisible by 7, so it is printed as fizz. And the list goes on. 307 is a prime number, so it's printed as prime. And the list goes on until we reach 400. 400 is buzz because it is divisible by 5. So this is the program. I'll just post it on Twitter. Post any comments in case if you have any queries. Thank you.